Anachronic.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Espresso mail call for November. Thank you for coming. I already had my espresso, so you can tell that I'm kind of wired up. I had it before, right after dinner, so I'm all set to go. I mean, hopefully you guys have had some too, because we got to keep going. We got to share a lot of books today, and we got to keep going. Okay, I think I'm okay now. So let me welcome my mailman for tonight, Dave Bratton. Dave, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Good to see you and everybody else.
Thanks for being here. We have Chuck Hensey, terrific comics and pop culture. Great last video. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. It's good to be here. And we're glad that Joe had his espresso early, so in case we run long, he's good.
I'm good tonight. That's for sure. That's for sure. Because I drink it by the mug, Chuck, you know. All right. And there's Milt, Flowers Comics. Milt, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, Milt was at a con recently, so we'll see what he brings up. And there's Mr. Comic Book Crowd Mug. Oh no, that's Steve the Voice White.
Oh, right. Hey, what's going on?
Steve, some really good uploads also from Steve. The voice stuff is pretty good.
Getting there.
All right, and we have Brian as a new member. So that brings up, before we say hello to everybody that's here, I just want to say one thing. I love the fact that you guys are so giving. All right. I have gone with membership. I wasn't going to do it. I have gone with membership. It's a one tier, $1.99, I think it is a month. You get some perks out of it. Already the people that were members got to see the video that's coming out next week. They've seen it already. They've had access to it. There's other perks that are there. And all the money is going to go to both the St. Jude's Hospital, a research hospital for children with cancer, and the Tunnel to Towers Corporation. I have a video that discusses that. And so if you take a look at the membership thing and you click on it, watch the video. And if you decide it's something you want to do, it's fine. If you don't, that's fine as well. My point is, I saw how good everybody basically was at comics curing cancer. And to me, that was just, I said to myself, you know what? Let me go ahead and just do this membership, and whatever we get in, whatever I get in. I opened up a store too, but a lot of people like the mugs. They like the t-shirts. You can get them all over there. Any money that I make off of those things are going to go to, again, those two charities, St. Jude's Research Hospital for children with cancer, and Tunnel to Towers Corporation, which works with the fallen heroes, soldiers' families, soldiers that have been hurt, policemen, firemen, the families that have lost them. They pay off their mortgages. They build homes for homeless veterans. They help veterans that have been hurt. I mean, they do such good work. It's just amazing. But I do now, Brian, thank you so much. And he's gifted some memberships. This is fantastic. But I'll bring that up. But first of all, let me just share this. All right. Here we have the first 3 channel members. We'll add Brian to this list. So Tina jumped on it right away. Thank you, Tina, so much. Terrence from England, who can't watch these because it's 2 a.m. for him, but Terrence jumped on it right away. And so did Mark Andrews. So I want to thank you guys. And I'm thanking Brian as well. Brian is a new member. So thank you, Brian. And he's gifted 5 memberships. Fantastic.
Holy
and
cow.
Travis joined too. So thank you so much, guys. All right. I really appreciate it. And again, join, don't join, whatever it is. I'm not asking people to force people to do this type of thing. But if you think it's something that you can do, again, the money doesn't go to me. It goes to these charities. So I think it's really fantastic. So thank you so much. And there's Chuck. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Okay. That being said, and that being out of the way, let's start with some books. Now, I know we'll go down rabbit holes, and that's the real point of this. We want you to spend your money on some books. And I've got some that I've done. So, Dave, why don't you go first and show us what you got, okay?
Sure. Got
All
a
right,
few.
let's get you up there. All right.
Well, Doug and I had some fun hunting recently. And when we were out and about, we swung by this antique mall. And
I love that.
out in Sussex County, New Jersey. And on the second floor, there's just random stuff everywhere, including comic books. And there's this one old cabinet with little like drawers where the guy that's his space, he has some comics in there. And they're usually old and they're usually beat up, and that's okay. You know, it depends what you're looking for. And we pulled this one.
Oh, I love that.
Man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Very good.
I've been trying to find one of those.
It is
Great
totally beat up. I mean, I'm pretty certain, like, wrong side. Like, the mice got to it.
Oh,
It's got I love the mice.
Mouse too. Nice.
The
It's
mice
beat
stuff is
up.
all mouse stuff.
It's not a great copy, but it's a cool book.
It is. It is.
And, you know, the great thing is sometimes you get some really good deals, and this was just a few bucks. It wasn't that much. And so it's just a really cool book to find at this place. And let's see, as we were driving back, Joe, if you don't mind pulling up those pictures,
Sure.
I sent your way.
Respect.
As we were driving back, we happened upon, I just looked over to the right and I saw this comic book store. And if we could go back to me, and then we'll go to this in a second. I just looked at, sorry, Joe.
That's right.
And we just happened to
I
stop
gotta
by
get you big. Hold on a minute.
I just looked over and I'd never seen it before. It's called Jam Comics.
Oh, okay.
And I said, "Hey, Doug, there's a place right there. Why don't we swing in?" He's like, "Sounds good." So we pulled in and found some really cool things, and a couple books that I really liked, and some I'm going to show later when it's the second time around. But if you can pull those pictures up again, thanks, Joe.
Sure.
Just under a year ago, I believe it was last February, a buddy of mine had tickets to go see the cast of Picard season 3 at a Sirius XM interview. And if you go to the second picture that I sent you,
hold on.
No worries.
And there he is.
Look closely, you'll see they let just about anybody in. It was, I mean, I was in a tiny room, could not have held more than 25, 30 people, about 15, 20 feet away, you know, from the cast of Picard, the great Patrick Stewart and everybody else. And it was just so cool. So we went, when we stopped into Jam, and well, because of that, you know, when I was younger, I had seen Star Trek Next Generation, you know, episodes, not all of them. I decided after that, I was going to watch the entire Next Generation series to sort of fill in all the backstory to the 3 seasons of Picard. And so over the past 10 months, I have. So when we stopped in Jam, Joe, if you don't mind going back to these books.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of this and bring you back up.
There we go.
Okay.
I saw these, and, you know,
Nice.
This is a comic adaptation of the series finale, and this is of their first film. And I just thought these were cool looking books. And because of my, you know, foray into my deep dive into the series and watching it all these years later, it was a lot of fun to snag those. And then the last one I had before I pass it off, Doug and I stopped into a local mall. We were checking out a couple stores. As we were walking out, there's a place we'd never heard of. We walked in, and they had a bunch of, you know, a lot more toys than anything, but they had a couple short boxes of comics. And I walked in and I saw some action figures that were interesting. And I looked at them and they were not priced. So I looked at the guys behind the counter. I'm like, "Hey, you know, how do I know what these cost? Where's the price?" And they said, "Oh, our boss likes to price them at the register because values go up." Raise your hand. You despise that because it's making you do the work. They're going to eBay looking for the highest price. Like, it's just,
oh God,
the worst. So I said it, and I didn't say it in a mean or aggressive way, but I said, oh, that's a tough way to do business, and left it at that. But, I was looking at some figures and Doug was flipping through the boxes and he came across a comic book and he didn't see a price on it. So, but he said to the guys, hey, I found this book. There's no price on it. Some of them are, some of them aren't. He's like, oh, the comics that aren't priced are $5 a piece.
Oh,
like,
Okay.
okay, sold. So Doug pulled out.
Oh no! Holy crap!
Miracle number 1.
Wow.
nice
looking book. You know what? That I know what the owner was trying to do. It kind of backfired on him. That's why you have to do your actual job and price these things ahead of time.
Yep.
But he didn't. So
hey, $5.
We got a cool book.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was pretty neat. I've got some others I'm excited to show you guys, but I want to pass along to someone else.
Okay, Dave, that's really a good start. Thank you.
Right. $5 Mr. Miracle.
Wow.
Jeez.
That Mr. Miracle. I have a bunch of Mr. Miracles, but not number 1. All right, who's up next? Chuck, are you next?
Yes, I am.
Okay, terrifically. Let's get you up there.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to compete with that story from Dave. I know. But
you don't have to go after Milt. You're good.
So, that's true. So a couple of things I want to show off today. Went by one of the local stores and grabbed this. You can't turn down Zardos, no matter how much you try.
I love his boots, though. That's
and
the hairy chest.
I was explaining to my daughter where this came from, and I think it terrified her into submission. So we know what to scare her with besides Alvin and the Chipmunks singing Christmas. So anyways, also a couple of auctions from online. Grabbed a really nice Avengers here to continue working on my run.
That's
cool.
Not a big key book by any stretch of the imagination, but a nice one. And you're talking about Kirby here. We have the last issue, The Demon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Again, love Kirby's women very much. And then a Milt book here to make Milt happy. I finished my run of Howard the Duck, the magazine here.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
So
nice.
I was very excited to get this and
a great cover
to knock that out. So
it is a nice cover. Yeah.
Just make sure you read them.
Oh, I did. Don't worry. It's the magazine.
Okay, now I got to go read the Howard one shot.
You
didn't want me to read anything else, just Howard.
Read them. That's
so on Twitter. There's a guy by the name of Medium Mike, Medium MIC, who does claim sales on Twitter, and he has great stuff. And I don't want to mention his name really publicly because I can't barely get any of his stuff to begin with now, because literally the stuff goes up and it's gone in like 3 seconds. But from him, I picked up a bunch of things, including a present for Mark, which he will see, which I've already shown him, but he'll probably show up on his own. But I got a solid Plastic Man 3 there.
Oh, that's
nice.
cool.
Nah, that is nice.
It's got the go-go checks, and once I saw the go-go checks,
Yep.
it was that's
A
all I
no-brainer.
needed.
That's a nice one.
And then he had a magazine set that I was really excited. I was trying to get the Howard the Duck from him, and it didn't work, and so I had to get it somewhere else. But in this magazine set, I picked up some really neat stuff, including a nice nice early creepy
nice.
here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Zap.
Yeah, Trev, the Plastic Man's solid. It's a good 6. It's a 6, so it's a nice solid book from that time period. So we got
I
nice
see 25. Wait a minute. I see 25.50 crossed out.
Yeah, don't worry about the price. That's I don't know what he did. That's him.
From
so
Zap.
anyways.
Zap's a great store here in New Jersey.
It is. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know more about that than I do. Then I picked up an Erie 2.
Nice. Those are
in
great
solid
covers.
shape.
Fantastic covers.
With this is Rosetta. So
that is nice.
Oh,
yeah.
Very cool.
So I was really excited to get this. An Erie yearbook, which I had never before. but we got a nice sort of homage there to Norman Rockwell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And A Haunt of Horror #4 for us Marvel people.
Look at that.
With Gabriel the Devil Slayer on the top on the front. So
That is cool.
Yeah.
That
What a
mean
great
old
cover.
devil. Get out of
That's a
that
good
shit.
one.
Get out of there.
That looks like
Yeah,
it might glow in the dark almost.
it might.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it's
does.
also got a Satana story in the back of it too. So you know,
Cool. Bonus.
That's
All right.
you can't go wrong with that.
Radioactive covers are the best.
Yeah, and a Monster World to go with it.
Oh, look at that.
Mm.
So it was a fun pickup there.
Nice. Very good.
And then
Cool.
in this round, my local store, and Joe, these are for you to enjoy. So we got a Doc Savage magazine here.
Excellent.
Nice. Very nice.
So good,
On
solid
speed.
shape.
Looks good.
Another Doc Savage, and they were sitting there in nice high shape. These are ones I didn't have. So,
Right.
Wow.
and then finally a Masters of Terror, which reprints a lot of those early Supernatural Tales stuff.
yeah,
Now
I've
we're
never
talking.
seen that.
Yeah. Robert
So-
E. Howard, I see there. Robert
Mhm.
Bloch, H.P. Lovecraft. Nice.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
Never
so
saw
lots of
that.
really cool stuff in here.
Theodore Sturgeon. These are all guys that I remember reading when I was a kid, reading the stories in the books. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
So-
nice. That's a great find there. I like
So
that.
so there's my first rabbit hole for us right there.
I know.
Masters
nice.
of Terror.
Cool
Let's write
stuff.
that one down.
Are we done?
We're done. That's my first run. Yes.
Okay. Milt, I think you're up. Now, Milt
Okay.
is going to be up for about an hour. So if he
No.
is, I'm going to go take a break.
Go get a second espresso.
He finished writing Masters of Terror first. Okay. This past weekend was the Pittsburgh Steel City Con. And so I grabbed a lot of books there. And I also, with a friend of mine, we went around to a bunch of different stores in the Pittsburgh area. And we're talking like 9 different stores. So we,
Wow.
yeah. But what I have for the first round here. Oh, by the way, Joe,
Yes.
guys, for who are joining, those are great charities that Joe's contributing to. I highly recommend, if for no other reason than those charities alone.
Yeah, they're great
joining.
charities. They're definitely great. Yeah.
Yes, I mean they're perfect. And Dave, did you ever watch the original Star Treks?
Of course, I've seen a bunch of episodes and all the movies multiple times.
Okay, I just trying to tell you, some of the early comics are really good too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so enough changing subject. What I'm going to show here in my first round is some of the sports books that I picked up. I like sports comics and things. The first one up here is number 19 of Ozark Ike.
Oh, look at that.
And,
Wow.
Okay.
I'm a big baseball fan, so I try to get baseball covers. And Ike was with a hot-looking babe playing baseball.
There you go.
Thank goodness.
See?
And these are all from the 40s. I got a bunch of sport picture story issues, and the first one here is from 46 or 7 or so, something like that.
Wow.
But I like how they used to play
Nice.
basketball back then.
Mhm.
And then a rare hockey cover from
Oh,
back
look at
then.
that.
Wow.
Okay.
That's cool.
For all of our friends up north.
Yeah.
That's what the
and
White
then
Walkers play up here.
here we have bowling was actually used to be popular, but it's gone a little bit of stride. But this one has a
I was in leagues
boxer.
when I was young.
Yep, a boxer, a bowler, and a pitcher
Picture.
on the cover of this one.
Look at that.
My town still has a bowling alley. They do like a rock and bowl is what they call it. So they play like rock and roll music and the bowl to that.
That sounds
It's a
like
disco
fun.
light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Now it's a big deal. Now it's like an experience. When it was me, you went there, you met your buddies, you bowled some games. If you were in a league,
some
you
beer.
went there, you know. Yeah, you had the beer frames.
Yep.
If you all got a strike, The other
Now,
team
this
watch
is
your beers.
This is Sports Thrills as an early issue, and it has Ted Williams and Ty Cobb on the cover here.
Mhm.
But what is neat is this is an
Look at
LB
that.
Cole cover,
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Wow.
cool.
which is kind of neat.
I love that cover. That's terrific.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
anything
super
that
neat.
has Ted Williams and Ty Cobb on it, that's I guess that dates me. And
That's
then
okay.
here's another basketball cover.
Okay.
I'm not sure who
check-
did the cover, but
Did you check for signatures in any of those books?
these haven't been opened yet. It was just this
Ooh.
past weekend, and I've got a ton of crap. This was one of the few football ones I could find from back then. But
Oh, that's an old one. Yeah, look at them.
Mhm.
Pretty sparse outfits there.
No face mask penalties back then.
well, I mean, they were trying to get rid of concussions
It
in
would
the
just
NFL.
elbow them in.
Yeah.
Well, they want to get rid of concussions in the NFL. Just have them wear the old style helmets, and that'll.
Weren't they made out of leather or something like that?
Yeah, you're not going to hit somebody with your head then if you're going to get a concussions. And then I'm a big boxing guy.
So,
Yeah.
Milt, did you see
Nice.
Digger?
Me too.
Did you see Digger at the con?
While I was at the con, I did see Digger Jim there and his buddy, and I also saw.
Yeah.
Well, I
okay.
didn't see him. Matt Woods was there also, but he left early because he was feeling ill.
Oh.
So he drives an
Okay.
hour and a half to get, or 2 hours, whatever it was, to get there. Then he wasn't feeling good, so he had to go home, which
Okay.
wasn't good.
Yeah.
That sucks.
But yeah, Digger Jim's a good guy. Here's another one with a baseball on it. Which
Cool.
Those are great comics. Huh?
Yeah, those are.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be magazines. This is awesome that they're comic books. That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I don't have. I like to find out who did the covers because a lot of these have famous cover artists, like the LB Cole issue back there.
Right.
Right.
But and this one has all kinds of different sports. But I like the Green Bay Packer in the middle there, throwing a pass. So I hope you can see these. I can't tell.
Yeah, we can. They're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, we
they
see
were
it.
great.
Okay, and here's another football one diving over.
Mhm.
Crazy the goalpost used to be on the goal line.
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
Think about how exciting that is when they would try to get in and they bang into the goalposts.
Yeah, I mean, there's some great video out there. It's pretty good. Oh, and then here's this one's from '48, and there was an Olympics were in '48.
Oh,
Ah, that's cool.
Right.
It's kind of neat. But I love these old sports ones. But there was one other, or here's a couple more I'll go through real quick. And this is one of my favorite characters from back then, Captain Midnight.
Oh,
I
yeah.
found this one.
Mhm.
Cool.
Wow, that's a
cool.
great one. Very
And,
nice.
Yeah, it's in pretty good shape, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
this is back in, I guess, 1943, because
Wow.
they're trying to get war bonds inside
Right.
and everything.
Yeah.
It's
Very
kinda
nice.
neat. And then in honor of Howard the Duck, who turned 50 this month, and he also had an anniversary issue out. I got a Howard the Duck blank sketch variant from 2015, and this was drawn on it for me by Will Maginot,
Holy cow.
Wow.
Wow.
and it is
Little
a
sketch.
it's a one of a kind, and it's
Amazing.
a Frank Frazetta homage to his famous Funnies number 214.
He did that whole cover? Holy cow.
Yes,
That's
That's
amazing.
amazing.
so
That's fantastic.
Love it.
How
I
long did he
loved
work
it.
on that for? Jeez.
and then he also took one of the backing boards and he put a drawing on that for me also.
Huh?
So it's kind of fun, and I got a couple of these, but every time I see them, I pick them up. This one is Foom number 15,
Mm-hmm.
mainly because the Howard the Duck for President was on it, and a lot of people collect them not because of Howard the Duck, but because this was the first the first appearance of Miss Marvel was in this issue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, but I like that one, and then I showed you guys this before, but I got this for Joe when I was there because I thought him being
Holy
a DC guy, he would
so
like
nice.
this.
That's awesome.
Special Superman issue, Trev. Look at that.
And Kurt
Amazing
Swan
world.
did a nice issue. So, did a nice drawing on the cover. So,
Yeah.
you'll get this eventually, Joe. I don't know what the hell. Well, when you least expect it, you'll go out to your mailbox in Naples and it'll be sitting there. Or
Thank you, Milt. That's nice.
if I go down to Sarasota in January, maybe
let me know. It's
I'll
about
just drop down and drop it off.
it's a bit of a drive, but I'll come up there. You know,
We'll meet somewhere. That way, if I come down, you'll be like obligated to buy me lunch or something.
Of course. Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
This is a $2 hot dog. Don't worry about it.
That's right. You didn't say what.
Okay, well, that's my first round.
Well, that's fantastic. Boy, you guys just have such great stuff. I feel so inferior to all the stuff you guys show all the time.
Well, don't worry. You'll be fine.
That's why I'm bringing
After
Steve
me.
on now, so that way when I follow him, I'll feel better.
Yeah, exactly. Because you make me go after Milt, and I got to freaking contend with that every goddamn time.
No. That's because I went to a con. That's all.
That's
Yeah.
all.
So
Nice card you got there, Steve.
yeah, isn't that cool? That's my first one. That's my pickup there because I got that in the mail today
Nice.
or
Thank
a
you.
couple of days ago. And I finally went down to the mailbox. Lazy.
There you go.
That man
So
with the
just-
Santa beard is just far cooler
I
than
know,
he
it's
could
really
be.
sick, isn't it?
No, it's awesome. I don't know why. It's just cool.
Yeah, and it's cool on the back too.
Yes,
Got
exactly.
the espresso mail call on it, so that's neat.
Yeah.
That is neat.
I just picked up some $2 books, cheap stuff.
Ghost in
Yeah.
Graves.
Nothing spectacular.
Oh,
I just
no,
like the
that's a
covers on
pretty
these.
cover.
So
They're nice
That's better.
covers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I started
Ghost
picking
Man.
these things up. It's all Gold Key, Whitmans, some Charltons, neat books.
Yeah, but those are fun books, though, man. I mean,
They are.
and
I love the painted covers because that's like my classic Grimm's ghost stories.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
so
me my
amazing.
Grimm's ghost story books.
Turok.
I
Son
love
of
the
Stone.
covers.
Torok.
Turok.
Turok.
I'm probably gonna give that one to Mark. I don't know.
Sounds
if
like he's
got that one or
speaking
not.
Klingon.
Kuvok. It's close. That's a swear word in Klingon. It's Kuvok. It means damn it. Kuvok.
Dagar.
Dagar. See, Dagar. That's another Klingon word. Dagar.
The next
So,
show will be
my-
entirely in Klingon.
My
That's
gold
it.
key.
We didn't know that at the time.
Here's a
those
weird
daggers,
one.
those are mental stories. So
I don't know
Fly.
anything about this one.
Ooh.
there we go.
Red circle. I've never heard of it before, so I had to grab it.
Mm.
And then
Yeah,
one
that was Archie trying to revive their old superhero line
Yeah.
Right.
and,
that what that
and
is?
update it, and then they eventually became like Impact Comics or something. For
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
for
heard that
DC
these
and-
were popular to get. So yeah, looked interesting. And then of course I had to get my Tops comics. I don't know if you guys are into these Tops ones. I like these Tops comics.
That's
This
cool.
is the whole 3-part series of Vlad Dracula.
Yeah, I didn't even know anything about that until you guys started showing them.
Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of Tops. Like they got a whole series of different books that are pretty cool. A lot of
Yeah.
good artists too, right? Like this is Roy Thomas.
I used to get their dinosaur covers.
And then the last
The
one is a
Dinosaurs for Hire?
DC. You guys might have seen this one before.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Just a dollar one, but hey, cheap books. And that's my first round.
Okay.
Go Joe.
It's cool.
Okay, now I feel better. No,
See?
I'm sorry, Steve. It's
No,
so nice
don't-
to show up, and I shouldn't be doing that.
Wait till you see the next one, because then I'll
Oh,
get you.
that's it. He always saves them.
I got a banger.
All
Don't
right.
worry.
Here's my first round. So I started to like try to look and see what are books and stuff that I should have read, but I never read, And I don't know if somebody mentioned it to me. I can't remember now because I'm old and I forget things and whatever else. But somebody mentioned Paper Girls as being one of the ones that maybe I should read. So I did. I I bought a trade and I read through it and I enjoyed it. And then I came across and I saw this on Hip Comics.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Cool.
#1. And
Yep.
it cost me more to get it mailed to me than it cost me on the bid. Nobody bid for this thing, and I bid on it. I think I got it for like $3. But
Yeah,
it
that
cost me
fell
like,
off a cliff.
I think it cost $6 to mail it to me, or $5, whatever it was.
It's a
But
good
I'm
pickup.
happy I got it. So I said, let me get #1. So
It's a
that's
good series. Like, I mean, it's too bad the TV show just died and they didn't continue it.
I know. Because after I read that, I went to take a look at the TV show, and and I said, that's too bad because it's good.
Yep.
Second thing is I've shown I think Son of Vulcan #49 and #50, because #50 was one of the two first works by Roy Thomas as part of the Charlton Group. He wrote the story. Now, Son of Vulcan first appeared in Mysteries of Unexplored Worlds #46. Then he was in #47, #48. Then they changed the title, like Charlton always did. They always changed titles, but they kept the numbers going, and it became Son of Vulcan #49 and 50. So I got 49 and 50, and like everything else, I keep saying to myself, well, maybe I should look for the others. Well, I happened to find Mystery of Unexplored Worlds #46, the first appearance of Son of Vulcan.
Oh,
So
Very nice.
It's in really nice shape too.
Yeah.
the big V
Not a
on the
lot,
shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he changed, I think it was in 49. I forget now if it was 49 or 50, actually. They changed him and modernized him a bit. In 49, he looked really, whoever drew the cover, I forget who it was, drew him really funny, where it looked like he had, it looked like all he had was the top part of his leg, and then like hardly any calf or anything at the bottom. It was just really, really weird. But I managed to find this. I'll find the other two. They're not things that I look at, but if I come across now 47 and 48, I'll pick them up so that I'll have them all. A character that I really like is the Spectre. Okay, very much into the Spectre. And I do have the second series, almost all of them, from DC, which was, I think, in 1987 or so. But his first series was in 1967. All right. And so I don't think I have any of them. I have to go looking through, at least on my CLZ app. I don't see any of the first series, which started in 1967. But I happen to find this also. And this is Spectre #4 from the 1967 series. Now, the interesting thing about this, if you take a look at this, is really, I'm a Neil Adams
Yeah, I was
fanatic.
gonna say it looks like Adams.
This is a Neil Adams cover.
Yep.
And Neil Adams was brand new at DC around this time. And so it's like they said, hey, you want to let's put him on Spectre, because this was a 10-issue series, if I remember correctly. So they said, let's put him on Spectre.
Yeah.
What's that?
It started in Showcase.
Yes, but I'm talking about his actual series, right? He
Oh.
was in Showcase #60 was the first one. I have that one. And he had a few appearances in Brave and the Bold as well, where he teamed up with Batman, I think, and a few others. So I have those, but I don't have his first series. This is the first one I got from his first series. Interestingly, besides this one, Neil Adams, and I wrote it down so I wouldn't mess it up, he actually drew numbers 2 through 5. This is #4. And he actually wrote the story for this one and #5.
Wow.
So that shows you how much
cool.
they cared about this. And Spectre was a Golden Age hero, obviously,
Yeah.
that they were reintroducing during the 60s, the early 60s. They were introducing a lot of the Golden Age heroes. But this is cool because he drew this one, including the cover, and he wrote this one as well.
I look at the expression on that kid's face. That is just awesome.
Well, and he was trying to make sure I can get
kid.
this is the best way I can get it, I guess. And the thing is, if you look at a lot of his drawings, he has a lot of expressions. You look at some of the Batmans that they had and so forth. I mean, the expressions on the faces of the people are basically half of what he does. You don't see that in a lot of other people. I mean, the expressions are just amazing with respect to that.
Yeah, it conveys everything right there.
It does. Now, talking about rabbit holes, Gary B.
Oh yeah.
Hey Pop, Katie was on his 1011 maybe a few weeks ago, and she showed a couple of books, and I just said, damn, I got to get those books. Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Googling, purchase, buy
I'm
it
missing
now.
this, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm showing books. It's hard to look at the chat and show the stuff as well. So, but anyway, so I'm looking at this stuff, and so I said, "Oh, I got to get these books." So the first one is Incredible Hulk number 441, the newsstand version, and the key to this is what, guys? It's the
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
price.
Pulp Fiction.
$150.
It's Pulp Fiction, right? But the newsstand version was only $1.50, whereas the direct version and the rest of them are $1.99. So this was a different price version of this, which makes it fairly expensive. At least graded as a 9.8. It's like worth, like maybe $100 more than the direct version. That, but I just kind of like the Pulp Fiction look at it, and the alternate price on it. I said I have to get this. Before I show the other one, which is a Lobo one, I had to buy the Lobo I wanted as a package with this other one, but actually is kind of cool. Lobo is coming to the DCU, I'm sure, right? And this would be an interesting one. So this is Lobo's convention special.
Holy cow!
Okay,
oh, that's
now
cool.
It's a cool book, and let me tell you this. So Lobo accidentally destroyed his copy of Superman number 75, The Death of Superman, right? So he decides to go to a convention to find another copy, and of course, Lobo being Lobo. There's a lot of destruction and stuff that goes on at this place. It's really hilarious if you like that type of humor. So Lobo's looking for a Superman 75. So I had to buy this as part of the group, which was fine. When I got it, I said, this is cool. But this is the one that I saw Katie show, and I just said, this is a Milt type of book. All right. And Milt, you'll see why.
It's neat.
This is Lobo's Big Babe Spring Break Special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the thing about this,
I remember that.
What's the thing about this? No. Look where the.
I don't know.
I just started cracking up laughing. I haven't read this yet, but the cover was just so hilarious.
That cover is awesome.
The placement of the UPC code was just amazing.
Perfect.
So I said to myself, I'm sorry, Katie, I saw this and I said, I just got to get this one. Well placed UPC code issue. So it's well known for that. I actually didn't know anything about this until she showed it, and I just started cracking up and I said, I got to find this, and I did. So that's it. So that's Lobo's Big Babe Spring Break Special.
And Joe's rabbit hole.
Well, it actually was an easy one to climb down and find. I just had to, come up with the cash to buy it, But it was pretty cool. It was really, really good. Yeah, I bought it for this. Yeah, that's right. I bought it for the story.
Yes, he did.
Like I said, I haven't read that one, so I don't even know what the storyline's about. I did look at the convention one, and I thought it was pretty funny. It was a good storyline that was there. Oh, what's that? Yeah, it's not a scratch and sniff. I know that. Yeah, that's.
And if it was, please don't. You don't want to do that.
Please don't do it because you don't know what the sniff is going to be. Hi, Paul. How are you? All right. I'm sorry, but I just thought they were cool. They were cool. So that's my first round.
Excellent
with that. So, all right. So, Dave, you're up for number 2. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I am very much.
Okay.
So, I'm going to go back to. Before I show a few more books, I do want to show something I received in the mail. Something for which I'm very appreciative from one of our DC Watch compatriots, and I'm wearing it.
Nice.
And that's the DC Watch T-shirt from Mr.
Excellent.
Chris Bigger. Thank you, Chris. That was incredibly kind of you. I really appreciate it. So yes, I love it. Nice. So cool. So yeah, back to the books now. Going back to Jam Comics, that place that Doug and I discovered. Now that was the good place, the place where we got Mr. Miracle, where they didn't price books. That's a wholly separate place. I want to make sure that, you know, anyone watching it understands that. The good place, the Jam Comics, I found some really cool books. I don't know. I mean, some people out there know my fandom, but there's certain books I like that or characters I like. I don't know if everybody knows about it. I'm actually a big Invincible fan, and I have been for a pretty long time. Actually, I went back. I checked on Amazon, and my earliest Invincible trade purchase was, I want to say, 2007, and I may have picked a couple trades up before that. So it's been at least 16 to 18 years that I've been a fan of the character. Wow. When we were in Jam, I saw this on the wall. This is the Comic Tom, one of the Comic Tom variants that I guess just came out. They had a copy, and I'm like, that's cool. I like Invincible. I'm snagging this thing. So it's really cool. Now this one kind of looks like, you know, pretty basic run of the mill Justice League 52. What's the big deal? Except it's Justice League 51. This is a misprint.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're out there, but they had some copies, and I snagged one. I just thought, I love the image of Luthor. It's a compelling visual, wearing the stealing the Superman symbol. But the fact that it's a misprint, and this is actually the wrong cover on issue 51, I just think is pretty cool. I think they even got the price wrong too.
Sure.
So it's just, I thought that was a fun book to snag.
And I love his hair. His hair looks great.
Amazing. Joe, I thought of you when I grabbed this. I saw this. I'm like, Joe would love this, so I have to buy it. Neil Adams, Superman.
Sweet.
Yeah, Neil Adams.
Great cover.
He didn't do a lot of Superman, but the ones he did are really good. A lot of them, they're really good.
Superman issue 317 might be one of my all-time favorite covers ever. So
you got a bell.
Okay, I'll go into the next one. But Superman 317, check it out if you haven't.
317. Okay.
Then one more. This was before I get to a separate set from Jam Comics. The last one I got from Jam that I'm gonna show. The beat up copy, but a really cool Flash book.
Nice.
And
like
you
that
know,
one. Yeah.
The beat up $2 bin. I have to snag it. That's just cool. So that was my Jam experience. Now earlier, someone was showing books that had come from Zap Comics, and Zap Comics is a store here in New Jersey. They're incredible. You know, saying a store is the best is subjective. They're clearly one of the best in the area. They're just amazing, and they had a tremendous sale around the holidays, and I found some really cool books for great prices at Zap. They have great prices anyway, but they were even better. So, as everyone knows, I'm a Shazam fan. Marvel. So, found that. Milt.
Very nice book.
Nice.
Here's another. Now, the first few are really beat up. Really beat up. So these were, you know.
Oh, and somebody stamped all over
great
it.
Deal.
That's cool.
Yeah, but they're still cool.
Yeah, no, that's great.
We're finding fine Golden Age books for, barely more than a current comic cost is just really cool. And this one I loved, had all three characters in action. Thought that was great.
Jerry's looking to see how many thumbs up he can give you right now. So,
and then this one, which is Captain Marvel number 40, I thought was really cool. It's a nice copy. It's 4.5 to a 5.
What's that guy think he's going to do with a rock? Come on.
Throw a rock 4.5 or a 5 for that, without having it wasn't touched or cleaned or anything like that, is just fantastic.
Yeah,
you can't
it was really cool. And this one was pricier, but it was just too cool to pass up. And then in that vein, I went old school there. You can't get much more new school than the book that just arrived in the mail today. And this is the 1 in 50 variant of Shazam number 6. It just came out in the last I guess week and a half or so. So this is the 1 in 50 that I saw, and I had to snag that. I just thought it was really cool.
Who's the artist on that? Do you know?
Dave Wilkinson, I believe.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Dave Wilkins. Dave Wilkins. So I was very happy to find this. I saw another auction and I turned a buddy of mine onto it, and he got a copy. So I'm very excited for him.
You know, Dave, keep that up there because I could just see why you got that, because all you have to do is put your face on Shazam's face and, you know, everything looks the same. I mean, it'd be perfect.
That is my face.
I know. It looks just like your face. That's why I said it. Just got to change your hair.
Exactly the same. So in my 20s, maybe.
Okay.
So yeah, so this was I love the cover. And by the way, you know, we show a lot of, you know, old classic comics, and they're amazing. They're incredible. Mark Waid and Dan Mora are doing an amazing job on this book and World's Finest. So if you like some of the newer, if you buy any of the newer stuff, you know, because at my heart, my comic fandom is all about the storylines. I love the story. I love the stories and art. And that's, like I said earlier, that's where the magic lies, when you get a great artist and a great writer. And sometimes you produce something that's really memorable. And this series has been really good so far.
Nice.
And last but not least, before I turn it over, this arrived in the mail just the other day. This is a hardcover of the second volume of Dark Knights of Steel.
Very cool.
That's a great series.
The first the first volume. So I wanted to, you know, give the second volume a chance, complete the story. I'm excited to see where this story goes.
We waited long enough for that last one to come out. Jeez.
Yeah. And you know, when you wait for the trade, you wait even longer, and you don't always realize that the comics are coming out late. But I'm excited to see how this plays out. So that's what I got for you guys.
Nice
tonight.
books.
So thanks
Very
for
nice.
letting me be a part of it.
You just threw me. I didn't even know who's next or what the story is here.
Chuck.
I think it's
Yeah, I'm there. I'm queued up next.
Chuck.
All right, Chuck, you're up.
So we had a local con here also. It's Lynn Anderson's con. He does a fantastic job. It's an old school comic con. He does it 4 times a year. People, long boxes, no frills, no nothing. Some of the best books you guys have seen me show on, like Gary B's channel and whatnot, I picked up over the years from Lynn, and he's been doing this for 20 plus years. So in fact, I actually try not to go to Lynn's con very much because, well, we have a cash flow problem. Namely, I don't have any flow to it. And so, but I went this year because I was meeting a friend to pick up some stuff from him. And so, of course, I had to go around, and we've got some of the really top dealers from Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, and then we got a guy from Virginia who comes too. So a lot of these books, the rest of the books I'm going to show, are from that con. And so this one is not. I picked this up. It's a Nancy and Sluggo from Dell. So why am I buying Nancy and Sluggo? Because that's not really me. Well, inside of it, we have, and I talked a little bit with Dave about this when we did the comics professorship. For a while, Dell produced Peanuts inside of these series, as we see in here. But this is not done by Charles Schultz. This is done by somebody else.
Oh.
Lawsuit.
And so you've got these and a bunch of these Nancy's and Nancy and Sluggos. You've got these sort of hidden Peanut stories that have never been reprinted anywhere. And after having read it, I can tell you there's a reason why it's never been reprinted anywhere. But these are really cool, and they're not that terribly expensive. So just if Joe said we're going to talk about rabbit holes. So here we go. This is Wabbit season right here. So so that'll keep people like Tina and some of the rest of us distracted for a while. So
yeah, there you go.
And a non-Schultz Peanuts too. Wow.
Exactly. Cool. Non-Schultz Peanuts.
How bad are they?
They're bad. They're really bad. Yeah.
So you or I could have written them then? Yeah.
We would have done a much better job, Milt. I think we understood the characters better. But anyway, so some other things I picked up there. I'm working on my run of Hanna-Barbera Fun Ends.
Nice. Gold Key goodness.
Nice.
It's scary to think that we have people who probably remember Inchai Private Eye.
Yeah.
Take a drink. take a drink if you remember them, so it's okay, but a small one. Otherwise, you won't be able to fit in it. So, but here we go. So, one of those $2 boxes, a weird and wild Charlton I had never heard of.
Surfing Wheels.
Surfing Wheel.
Sure, why not?
Never
Cool.
seen that.
For $2, yeah, you can't. Yeah, why not?
No.
$2.
That's a
$2
great pick.
Charlton. I was really happy. I went to a dealer and got a very nice Frankenstein Monster 19,
Nice.
a V9, and 11 to finish my run of Frankenstein's Monster. So I've now got the complete run there, which
Cool.
makes me
Great
very
run.
happy. So it just took a lot longer than it should have. So we got there, and on the front dealers, he had a short box. He had all his boxes out and everything. Short box underneath saying weird and obscure books. And so you may as well have just waved a red flag in front of me there. I only picked up 3 things in there because they were starting to get a little expensive. And again, I was on a budget, and I only went over budget by a little bit, so I was good. My wife has not filed divorce papers, so that
I always go over budget.
Do you go to
So
counseling first or just a divorce?
No, she at this point she just skipped a divorce. So,
No counseling.
so we got a Hanna-Barbera's Flintstones here from when the 10 minutes that Marvel had the Hanna-Barbera license in the 70s.
Wow.
So it's kind of cool. So
It's kind of neat.
I wonder how many they put out before they got.
only about 7 or 8 issues. I think the longest series they had of anything was Laugh Olympics, which went like 15.
And then that
So-
was it. Wow.
Which again, we're dating ourselves here.
Yeah, well, Dynamite
Really?
went for. Never mind.
Yeah, really awesome love stories here.
That's cool.
I got this because it was of higher grade, and just in my mind, when again, I'm a history teacher, so when I think of like feminism and stuff from the 70s and changing roles of women, this cover really does sort of encompass that really, really well. In fact, I'm going to take a scan of it and send it to our AP US history teacher.
Very cool.
Because in many ways it really does feel like sort of all those different contradictions of what do you do. So yeah, exactly. Well, Jackson, I understand that conversation quite well. So this was a super cool to find, and you never find these Marvel romance books in any sort of decent condition.
That looks in really good condition.
Yeah, it's in really sharp condition. A lot of the ones in there were not. And then I found super obscure, even by my standards, a little kid with Calvin.
Oh, cool.
And this is one of those early African-American characters in Marvel Comics. The little kid series is stupid. It is. It's Archie, super light. It's kind of diet Archie with lots of diet in there. But around issue 9 or 10, they switch over to this Calvin kid, who's one of the earliest African American reoccurring characters they had, and it only ran like 3 issues with him. I think he had the first one with Calvin, but I couldn't afford it, and as you can see here, this one is not in the greatest of shape. But you just don't find these things anywhere. I mean, nobody has them,
Because they burned them apparently if they're terrible.
Well, yeah, they are terrible, but they're an interesting oddity. And again, if you like these types of picture frame covers, they're really cool. And I love my picture frame covers.
Nice.
So, also in the $10 box, yes, it does. Mylar does help it. We have a Caliber Christmas.
Cool.
With a very early James O'Barr Crow appearance and cover.
Cool.
And again,
It's nice.
So, to piggyback off of what Dave had, a little bit later in the run, I got a Captain Marvel 46.
Oof.
And again, it's in pretty good shape. So, all things considered, that I didn't pay that price. So, we just ignore the price. But
10 cents?
No, gosh, I wish it was 10 cents. Oh, sorry, I tore it off. Never mind.
Yeah, you tore it off. So,
yeah, I can't remember what I've done.
Cents.
So, we're giving exams this week. I don't know what's going on in life. But this is the end of the Monster Society of Evil serial.
Okay. Yeah.
And of course, if you know that, that is the Mr. Mind serial. And a lot of people may not know. I know Dave knows this, but at the end, they actually supposedly kill off Mr. Mind. If I open this up and went to the final near the end, they've actually got like a little tiny, little electric chair, which I think they powered with like, a 6-volt battery or something. And they were going to stick him in there, and kill him with. So, yeah, it is. Well, there are some issues here, obviously, which is why it was not overly expensive. So
that's awesome, Chuck.
But that's
awesome.
Great. I mean, that to me, that's a fantastic pickup, nonetheless.
Well, and the dealer I got it from is just incredible. So, and then really two more things. Well, the two more different sets. I picked up some Daredevils.
Wow.
But not the Daredevil we think of.
No.
These are Daredevil magazines from Britain, starring Captain Britain as the main character. This is written by Alan Moore and penciled by Alan Davis.
That's classic.
Quite a combination.
It is an awesome combination.
You don't see those here too much.
Has the first mention of a character called Miracle Man.
Oh.
And I believe this is the first issue which identifies our Earth as Earth 616.
Oh.
Ooh.
So again, it's one of those weird books that if you know about it, you know about it. And
if you know, you know.
Right. And Lynn, the guy who ran the con was selling these. He's got the earlier ones too. I'm going to try and snag from him next month. So to try and get the rest of the run together, because I want to read the whole thing. These stories have only been reprinted once, and I don't have the reprint. It was like some omnibus they did of like the X-Men Archives Captain Britain in like the mid 90s or something. And then omnibus is worth quite a bit of money too, apparently. So,
so were they like Marvel characters in England? Like did Marvel?
Yeah, so this is Marvel UK, Steve. So yeah, so it's Marvel UK. So they're Marvel characters produced by UK Comics. It is in continuity, but whether it's in continuity, depending, just like dealing with your Rocket Raccoon truthers who continue to tell me that Hulk 271 is the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon. They're just jealous because they don't own magazines. So, and we can't help them with that. The final thing, I showed a couple of months ago a Silverhawks 3 that I got as a 9.8 in an auction.
Right.
So I went back to my comic book shop to look a couple of weeks ago, just out of curiosity. And well, I'll be darned if they didn't have a Silverhawks 2 newsstand in a 9.8.
Oh, yeah. That is freaking awesome, man.
Nice.
And
love it.
I grabbed it cheap, and enough said. So
yep, that's all you need to say, man. That's good right there.
And with that, we're going to pass it on to Milt and be wowed and amazed and stunned. And
then I have to
forget how to speak afterwards. So
thank you, Chuck.
Daredevils. I have that written down.
There you go.
I want those.
Yes.
I want those now. These are all a bunch of books I got from the con, and I never know what to get. So I just look for first issues. And since it's Friday, this will fit in perfect. The first one up, I do collect dinosaur covers, which is kind of stupid maybe. But the first book is Valley of the Dinosaurs, #1.
Oh,
sweet.
Which
Charlton
is
goodness.
Yeah, that looks like a Hanna-Barbera type of thing almost.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then a gold key. It's called Jet Dream.
Wow.
#1. These are all like mid to early 60s books. They're decent. And of course, this is a classic, which I have a couple of these, but I got it anyhow. The Time Tunnel.
Oh, love those.
Cool.
yes.
#1. That's a cool issue. Oh, and they didn't have a #1. That's okay. I got that already. But they did have a #2.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh,
There we go.
Nice.
Green Hornet.
Love that.
The photo cover too.
One of my favorite characters from back in the 60s, I guess you'd say. The Flintstones, featuring
The Flintstones.
the Gazoo, the Great Gazoo.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Look at the
Gazoo
colors.
only
Pink
came out.
cover.
There was only, I think, 2 issues, and I managed to pick them both up.
Steve, Joe's going to get flagged for your singing there, the theme song.
Yep. Let's go through the whole song. Everybody
There we
sing
go.
that. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
Copyright strike.
And then there's this, which I never saw this freaking thing. Zodi, the Mod Rob.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Boom.
Yeah.
I know
that's new
nothing
to me.
about this.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
That's cool, but it's bizarre. Yeah.
It's wonderfully bizarre.
It's
Yeah,
the
that's
60s.
awesome.
I love covers like that.
And now this was a really good find. The first issue of George of the
George of
Jungle.
the Jungle.
Oh,
Very
there's
cool.
another song, too.
George of the jungle, friend to
There
you
you
and me.
go.
Strike
More
2.
copyright.
One more
Copyright.
strike and we're out.
Look out for the tree.
And then another everyone is familiar with, the first issue of Fantastic Voyage.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then these were books that I didn't know they existed. Tales of Sword and Sorcery. Dagar, the Invincible #1.
This
Hey.
Dagar again.
We've seen that
Right.
one. Or
Yeah.
seen Dagar anyway.
And then Trag and the Sky Gods, #1. Never heard of this one before.
You don't want to know what trag means in Klingon.
Same as Tuvok, but worse.
And then The Occult Files of Dr. Spector, #1.
That is
Yeah.
a fantastic
Wow.
series.
That is a great series. Yeah,
Again, love those
Yes.
covers, man.
had a few of
Wow.
those. Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing no rabbit hole. I just get the #1s of these.
And you need to continue down that rabbit hole. That's a good rabbit hole to be
It
on.
is. Smart rabbit hole.
The stories are great.
And then the Modniks, #1.
Oh, another one.
boy.
Yeah, I've seen that one before too. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then the first 3 issues of Porky Pig.
Oh, look
Oh.
at that.
It's #1.
Mhm.
#2. And #3.
That's all, folks.
Very cool.
That's all, folks. Yes.
Badeep, 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 badeep. That's all,
Right.
folks.
And then
Copyright number 3.
Exactly. Joe's getting
I got,
sued into oblivion.
I just
Fan.
picked this one up to. This is for Mark Andrews. I'll send it to him sometime soon, I guess. It's an early Strange Planets #12.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Just
Nice.
kind of neat. I'm not sure who the artist is, but yeah, what the hell.
Rocket ship, aliens.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
those. Those are great.
And then,
Rob Fatstacks loves those type of covers too.
Any bubble helmet.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then
Or
the first
robot.
issue of Go-Go and the Animal.
Sweet.
I just saw
Taste
Go Go
Red.
Animal.
Has anybody heard of this?
Never
Yes.
heard of it.
Yes.
Nope.
In
Go-Go
fact,
and
if you
Animal.
go, Milt, if you go a little bit farther down that series, as a matter of fact, they have at least one cover that has it's either the Beatles or the Monkees photograph
Now,
of the Beatles or the Monkees on it.
that would be, I collect stuff like that.
There you go, right there.
And then
Walking down the street.
the first issue of 1 Million Years Ago. Again, I never heard of this book, but
Oh yeah.
it's like 1963, I think. But
Hmm.
and they were all in pretty good shape here. And then that's enough of the #1s. Now this is Green Lantern '88, and I got it because of the Golden Age appearance, but also if you look at the cover, do you know who did that? That's a Neil Adams cover.
Adams? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So I just like the Golden Age.
Does it got a nice job of having Alan Scott on one side and Hal Jordan on the other? They look really good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cool.
And this
Reminiscent
is
of
a
classic
book
hero.
that I don't like this character, but I got it mine is slabbed, but Joe, if you need a really good copy,
Metamorpho.
Yeah.
this is like I'll go so far as to say this is at least a 9. How about that?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
I've got 3 copies of that, but not a 9. That's for sure.
Okay, I'll send it in then and see what happens.
Okay.
Clean press. Who knows?
Wow.
Then I don't know why the hell I pulled this. Maybe I can't see what they say there, but an early issue of Millie the Model.
Mhm.
Right.
The Blonde Bombshell.
And then back to some more number ones. Chamber of Chills, number 1.
That's an excellent book.
Cool.
Yeah, I like these monster or early. Where Monsters Dwell, number 1.
Oh, look
Nice.
at that.
Yeah.
And what's cool is all these ones are in really good shape, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
All found at a con.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then and they were all pretty good prices, believe it or not. Where Creatures Roam, excuse me, number 1, which is kind of neat. But and then one of my favorite number 1s, I always pick this one up too. I don't know why. The Little Monsters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's just a fun book.
Yeah, I like to send these out to people when they always tend to like them.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And then interesting cover. Sergeant Fury number 13.
Oh yeah.
Good one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one actually. Good condition. Okay.
Nice.
What is this one? Oh, Batman 187. I'm not sure why I picked this up. I always, when I see an 80-page giant for like $10, I try to.
Yeah.
The top got you with the checker.
Yeah.
That always
And
does.
then-
Thought you're standing your number 1 first issue rabbit hole. When you said Batman, I'm like, well, now.
Oh, Batman number 1.
Yeah. Tech 27, Batman.
At that point, we
they're
just
neat
closed the
books.
show. So
Here's Detective 301. These are really in good shape too. I like these.
All the pink.
They did these things where they had the rainbow Batman.
Yeah, the
and
Rainbow
pink.
Batman. I remember that. Yeah.
So I thought it would be fun to. I might have it. I don't know.
Go look in the tickle trunk.
It's cool.
Well, no, and this is 30. Oh, these were all together. 308. Yeah, this will just. I just like the cover. That's all.
Dude's on fire.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then an early. This could be the second appearance. I'm not sure. Of well, maybe not. I'll have to check and see. The detective.
Batman.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what it is exactly, but there's a reason I picked it up. Okay, and the final book I picked up, and you get one book at every con or whatever. You say, "Wow, I never thought I would find that, but I did for some reason, and in good shape." That is Wiz Comics number 37.
Whoa.
Well, now.
And it's one of the classic, especially with what's going on in Israel right now. It's the
Oh yeah.
Heil Hitler cover that got by the editor somehow.
Oh wow.
Oof.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
That's crazy.
37, you said? Yeah.
yeah, it's it's one of those ones that he's got to have in the collection.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
That's a
say
good one.
Now I did pick up 4 slabs. Do you want to see those or not?
Do it quick.
Okay, Grim Fairy Tales, a 2011 Halloween special, and it was a 9.9 signed by the artist.
Oh, amazing cover.
That's a Milt book. 9.9.
Yeah. But it's a 9.9, which is pretty
Too
good.
bad that girl was not a 10,
He's only a 9.9.
But I'll tell you, that's it's what you call a nice peach. Okay, and then I got this one, which Young Lovers number 18, and I collect music, and one of my big music things is comics related to music. And this is the first appearance on a not only on a comic, the first appearance on a comic book of a musical artist, which is interesting. You think Sinatra would have been on one or something, but it's a photo cover of Elvis Presley.
Look at that.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see it very well or not, but it's one of those first that a lot of people don't care about, but I thought this was great.
It's cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then the last one, this was just the guy was just throwing it at me. Lost Worlds, and
Nice.
it's not a great grade or anything, but
3.5. That's fine for an
Looks
old
great though. That's fantastic.
That's great for that book. Yeah.
it's kind of
Especially with the
cool.
black cover.
It's kind of neat. It's only it's 52, so you would hope that it would be higher, but I like it. It has a dinosaur on it, or what looks like a dinosaur. And finally, the first comic book ever put out that was based on a TV show.
Oh, the Ed Sullivan Show.
Any TV show, and it is Howdy Doody #1.
Oh man.
Wow.
I love Howdy Doody. I got a couple of Howdy Doody books, but I used to watch that every day when I was a kid.
That's kind of neat.
Buffalo Bob. Yeah.
What's funny is all these slabs. I got dirt cheap. When I say dirt cheap, 150 or less, which is kind of amazing.
Wow.
I ran into people I knew who said, "Hey, why don't you take this?" But anyhow,
Good. Well, thanks a lot.
Cool.
Great job.
Yeah.
so
awesome.
that was my
And
week.
now Steve has to follow.
Always. Went to a thrift store.
Calvin and Hobbes. Awesome.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
$5.
After we had the question on the
$5.
left, Anachronic College with Doug.
That Doug character.
Another thrift store book that I picked up. Transformers. It's carries on, the comic books from issue 55 up, I think 4 or 5 issues. They were kind of neat, but the bangers, I got to bring something from the old days. I'm a bit of a Mad lover, so I like my Mad. This is the card set.
Oh,
Whole
nice.
box.
Sweet.
So we've got 11 card, 55 packs, so 605 cards.
Steve, when you turned it around before you showed the cards, you had Mad was upside down.
Oh, neat.
And if you look at it upside down and you don't care about the D being reversed, it reads a different word. And I first looked at it, go, what is that? As a D-A-M, what is that? That's nice.
So little foil packs, and
Yeah.
It's cool.
this is something that I rediscovered. I can't remember when I picked those things up, but I've been watching Gary B and Trev, and they've been showing all these cards and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Got all the cards. So I got the entire collection in there, and then of course I didn't stop there. I had to carry on, and I got the second one. So now we got Mad 1, Mad 2.
So Trev is saying you should open them up do shorts and open them up on a short.
Yeah, I could do that and have about 605 episodes times 2.
So what are those cards? Where are those cards from? What years?
They came out in 92. So the first one came out in 90. Yeah, they're both 92.
Yeah.
So I got full boxes so that I had the whole thing, and then I started putting them into the to the things. Because on the back of them too, you have like some of them create pictures and stuff. So I haven't put them all together like what Mark Andrews did.
Yep.
Where he's got that big, huge collage thing going on with his Marvel one.
Yep.
There's some of them like that, and I got to figure that out at some point in time. But I thought they were pretty cool. It's something I've had for a long time, but I just kind of rediscovered it because I started ripping apart my room in the basement, and I pulled them out, and I went, "Oh yeah, I forgot about these things. That'll be cool to show." Because I'll probably have to go after Milt. I love you, Milt. I just want to hang out in your place, man. Like, geez, see all those neat books.
You're more than welcome anytime.
Okay, Joe, that's it. I want.
All right, that's it. Thank you. That was a great job, Steve. Okay, so at GarageCon, Chuck was kind enough to buy me this.
Oh,
right. AC Comics or Americomics, right? From was it the early 80s or whatever? And you know, because it has the first two Blue Beetles on it. And I did read this, you know. Stories are okay, art is okay, but the fact it was like primarily a Ted Cord Blue Beetle in there, but that Blue Beetle was really good. So I said, gee, what is this Americomics or AC Comics? So of course, I just went out. I went on my comic shop, and I just started buying. This is some. I think this is some of their original comic book characters. Captain Freedom, right? I don't even know who this is. Oh, the Shade.
Yeah,
there he is.
Nice. That's a good cover.
Yeah. The Messenger.
Ooh.
What year are these from? I haven't heard of any of these.
These are from 1983.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll tell you a little history in a second about that.
Yeah, I missed these.
Excuse me?
I missed all of these.
Yeah, well, I wasn't collecting at the time.
Not by much.
Dragonfly.
Ooh,
I like her.
That's right.
Cool cover.
Look at the star over the eye.
Yeah, don't let Gary see that.
And this has a little bit of a story about it. The Scarlet Scorpion.
Ooh.
Now, who was the Scarlet Scorpion? This is really the book that I was looking for. This is the Sentinels of Justice #1. Okay. Yeah, Chuck knows about this. Right?
Captain Adam.
So the publisher, Bill Black of AC Comics, wanted to do a, you know, like an Avengers or a
Super Team.
Justice League type of group. So he's figuring out what to do. So Charlton contacted him because they were going out of business basically around 83. This is like 83 as well. Yeah. Going out of business. And they said, hey, you want to use some of the Charlton comic book people? So he said, yeah, sure. So instead of doing what he was going to do with his own characters and all that, he decides to use the Charlton comics. So you do have, we have your Blue Beetle here. You have a version of
Captain Adam.
Captain Adam. I don't know why you just flew out of my mind. A version of Captain Adam. You have you have the Question over there, right? And what was her name? Was it Shade or something like that?
Nightshade.
Nightshade. There it is, up there, right? Nightshade. Yeah. So I haven't read this yet, but I do want to read it. So what happened was, so this was really cool. He was really happy with this. But what happened, like a year or two later, DC bought them out.
Yep.
So when DC bought them, he couldn't use them anymore, but he wanted to continue, all right, with the Sentinels. So he basically put together another group that homaged these people, essentially, including the Scarlet Scorpion, which was a Blue Beetle.
Cool.
Change the insect.
Yeah.
There we go.
There was a bunch of them that he put together with respect to that. Phantom Lady, I think, was kind of like Nightshade, you know, and a few others that are there. I don't know who they were exactly, but I do know, and I found out that this was essentially the Blue Beetle. Okay.
Wow.
That's cool.
Instead of the question, they had the answer.
Maybe.
Captain Electron.
Now, I did say that I don't buy any new comics, but I do buy them if I think that they're really cool. And one of the companies that always puts out covers that I really like is Carnivore Comics. When I go to the New York Comic Con, I always look for them and see what they have. And this is something that I just saw online, and I really, really liked it. And since I can't afford to get the original, I got 2 copies of these, and I'll show I'll ask you if you could tell the difference in a second. So this is House of Secrets number 92.
Whoa, shiny.
Yeah, shiny cover, right? Okay.
Right.
And it's 1,000 copies. It's a Gabriele Dell'Otto, one of my favorite Italian
fantastic cover
artists. And it's like this is, and I think they're numbered. This is number 432 out of 1,000, right?
Who did that? What was there a company that did the exclusive, or?
It's a My Comic
Marvel
Mint or
Comics
something.
and Comic Tom.
Oh, Tom. Okay.
Okay. So that's one. I'll bring this back up in a second. And I got this one too, which is also limited to 1,000. This is number 445, also obviously by Gabriel Delotto, Carnivore Comics
Oh,
and Comic
yeah.
Tom.
Okay.
Now, what's the difference between the two? Why did I get these two? Let me see if I can do this without the shininess getting in the way. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, those are very bright.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't.
I can do it differently. I can't do it.
Can't tell.
All right. The difference is this
with the
one
girl.
is worth a lot more. Why? Why
Why
is
is that?
that? Why is that?
You were
Okay.
cited on the back of it, right?
Well, because if you look at it, he has Tina, this is for you. He's got a shiny red eye.
Oh, it's just a
Okay.
that's it. It's
This
a
one
red eye.
does not. So that's
Right.
the red eye variant. Okay, that's there. But it's a great Delotto cover, and so when I saw these, I said, yeah, why not? Just pick them up and get them.
More
So,
valuable
couple
because
of
of
new
red
comics
eye.
that I got.
That's
All you
amazing.
do is stay
Now,
up all night.
coming up-
The other one was
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming up in 2 weeks is Comic Book Crowd, and we're going to be talking about treasuries. And this is one that I had been looking for a while because I didn't have it. And I'm a big Justice League guy, so I managed to find this one.
Nice.
sweet.
Justice League of
Oh,
America. All right. The Volume 1 edition of Justice League of America. Not a bad price. Was $1. This wasn't $1. It's in pretty good shape, too. All right. So I managed to pick this one up. Yeah, Trev, it's a good one. Yeah. Tina, thank you. And my last one. Now, Tomorrow Publishing. I don't know if you guys know about Tomorrow Publishing, but I buy stuff from them. They've got basically people that write about. It's historical with respect to comics, and it's part of what my channel is about. I sometimes find ideas in there. I sometimes use them as source material with respect to that. And one thing that I saw, and it was just the cover. Let me take it out. That got me. But looking through it, it's just fantastic. They have an ongoing, basically their magazines that's called the Jack Kirby Collector, and it's all about Jack Kirby. And it comes out, I think, every month or every 2 months. Yeah. A ton of information. There's so much Jack Kirby stuff there that is just amazing stuff. So this one caught my eye because of who was on the cover.
Oh, yeah, that is fantastic.
Oh, yes.
That's
And
nice.
hold on a minute.
Holy crap. It's
Right.
That's
wrap
quite a
around.
spread.
Cool.
Let me see if I can get it all in there. Here we go. I got to step back a little bit.
I like the black and white comic stuff in the background. That's neat.
Right. And so when you look inside of it, there's so much information and some great, artwork by Kirby in these editions, including some that are just like full pages. And that was one of Kirby's best things when you go through it.
Yep.
So it's basically scans of the pencils pretty much. But when you read through this stuff, and I've read through a lot of it, not all of it.
Yeah, there's one there
You
talking
find
about
out
top
stuff.
comics. That's cool.
You find out stuff. And I'm putting together a series of which the members can see the first one that's coming out next week. It's already up. Membership means you get to see the recorded videos before other people do. And what I'm doing is I'm going through I stopped collecting comics essentially in 1972. And so the thought crossed my mind, what comics did I buy in 1972? And and so there's going to be about 4 or 5 videos with respect to that. And one of them is going to be about Kirby's, just 1972, Kirby in DC. Now, I haven't recorded that one yet, and I'm probably going to put this fact in there. But what I found when I read through this is for the first 5 years that Kirby was at DC, Marvel did something to try to counteract that. What they did is they reissued many of Kirby's stories during that time to try to counteract the fact that he was at DC.
Kirby versus Kirby.
That's right. You're going to fight fire with fire.
Let me see if I can get the numbers real strict. If not, it'll have to go by memory. But the interesting thing about it was that there were more Marvel Kirby books put out during that time than Kirby put out for DC. I don't want to spend time looking for it exactly, but
Flood the market with reprints pretty quickly.
exactly. So it's roughly
That's
something
where
like
you
100. It was over 100 Marvels to about 50 to 60 DCs that came
Yeah.
out during that 5-year period.
Well, that explains like the Marvel's Greatest Story series and some of
Marvel
those
Double
Amazing
Feature.
Adventures reprints and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's the type of stuff.
You saw a dime of the Marvel stuff.
That's the type of stuff you get in this. I think Dave, I sent you one on Uncle Marvel, right? That they came out, which was something I didn't know. I think I sent it to you, Dave, if I remember correctly. Hopefully I did. I sent you an alter ego, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that had that in it.
Okay.
And it just was interesting. And I just thought you might be interested in it because you do like Captain Marvel Shazam. So, I mean, the stuff that's out there, it's worthwhile. They have a ton of books, and I have a bunch of them. They have old Charlton. I could think they call it the Charlton Reader, which I have downstairs. I've gone through some of that. Just a lot of really rich history with people that actually either knew the people that did it or people that were interviewed back in the day that are reprinted. Just a really, really good historical perspective publisher for comic books. And I really, really recommend taking a look at their website. It's Tomorrow's Publishing, 2 M's. Yep. And it's you can download for free their catalog and stuff that they go through. So I'm always looking at that and picking up stuff now and then that I'm interested in as well.
Tomorrow's is fantastic.
Yeah. So that's it. You know, for me and for us. Before we go to what we're doing coming up, I've spoken to some of mine. I want you guys to get an opportunity. I just want to thank. We had a couple of new members during this time, so thank you to Brian. Brian also gifted 5 memberships, so you guys can go and get a free membership. You know, cool. Free month anyway. Nice. Chuck, thanks a lot for becoming a member, and Trev as well. I don't know if that's all that came through, but those are the ones that I managed to keep. So I want to appreciate you guys. And again, if anybody's interested in membership, it all goes to charity. You can click on the link below, or go just to my page or click on join, and you can get there's a video about it, and you can find out about it. So with that,
Joe,
you guys, you got a couple of guys with things here. So does anybody have anything coming up that they want to announce during this time?
I just want to point out that today is December 15th, and it is the 45th anniversary of the debut of the most important superhero movie of all time, Superman the movie. So I just wanted to point out its anniversary.
Did you buy that? Did you buy that nice statue that I showed you? No, you didn't buy that. I don't know how much it's worth, but it was kind of cool.
Statues are great. I just don't collect them. They're very cool. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Steve? What do you have coming up?
Well, I've dropped a couple of videos today. I got one coming out on Monday that I'm going to go through I've just been reviewing books and stuff, so I've been going through my collection a little bit at a time. So Monday I'm going to drop one on Grimm's Ghost Stories. And then I'm going to start in on this thing because I got the whole 155 issue run of it. So I thought, hey, let's talk about G.I. Joe because it's my favorite. Okay. And I'm having fun with the channel. It's cool.
Good. I'm glad. That's great. And Chuck, you finally dropped something, which I saw the other day.
I did.
Anything else coming up?
Not at the moment, but I am going to hopefully be with you talking about treasury-sized books.
Yes.
At the end of the month. So.
Okay, that's cool. And Milt and Dave, anything? Dave, you already announced the 45th anniversary of Superman the movie.
Sorry.
Which is very good. No, it's fine.
I got to watch that tonight now.
Yeah, it's good to watch that every now and then. I think I've watched it probably a good half dozen to 10 times. I don't even know how many times I've watched it.
North, Miss Tessmacher. North.
And I do like the second movie as well. That's not a bad movie as well. So
right.
Oh, look at that. Tech 27.
Oh, look at that.
I collect coins also. And
silver? Is that silver?
Yeah, that's from New Zealand. They put out that one. Then I picked up this one too.
Nice.
Oh, marbled one.
You got to pick that one up.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
All right.
Jeez.
So I have one other announcement besides the Comic Book Club crowd, the membership, and those series of videos that I'm putting out on 1972 and my last year of collecting comics. Next Friday, I'm having a special live show at 8 p.m.
Ooh.
And so I searched far and wide for people that were expert on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think I found two guys. And they're going to join me to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe because I know some about it. I've watched everything, have my own opinions. And the two guys are Matt Woods and some guy called the Jackson Roykirk.
Oh boy.
All right.
So I'm not sure if I'm going to survive, but we'll be on at 8 o'clock next Friday night. So look for the announcement. I haven't set it up yet, but I will later on today or tomorrow. So take a look at that. So we have that coming up on this Friday coming up, and then of course Comic Book Crowd and the videos. All right. So with that, I want to thank. We had a great chat. Hopefully, I got everybody and was able to put as much up. This Jackson, you got to be nice to me when you're on next week. Okay? Yeah, they are.
It would be like having a couple of Wolverines.
Right. Thanks a lot to everybody that showed up. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys becoming new members and gifting memberships. I think that's fantastic. All right, and with that, we'll see you really soon. And keep reading comics. And what I usually say is, be well, and I'll see you soon. Take care.